Okay, let's take a look at Standard 11 Substandard D. Describe the inventions of Thomas Edison. Include the electric light bulb, motion pictures, and the phonograph, and their impact on American life. Now look, here's our semicolon now, and here's the include. It's cueing us in on what it wants us to know. Look at the invention. We need to describe the inventions of Thomas Edison. We need to include the electric light bulb, motion pictures, and the phonograph. So we got those three and how they impacted American life. You know, Thomas Edison had a lot more inventions than that, but it's the way we read this that tells us, it cues us in which inventions do the standards want us to know. And down here at the bottom, their impact on American life is important as well. So our focus is on Thomas Edison, but on his inventions and their impact on American life are crucially important. So we have the electric light bulb, the phonograph, motion pictures, and I'm going to add power stations because they're linked in with light bulbs. So the theme is technology, the economy, and social impact of the technology on society, and the economies linked in with that. So Thomas Edison, also known as the Wizard of Menlo Park from New Jersey, invented the first successful incandescent light bulb here. It wasn't the first light bulb, but it was the first successful incandescent light bulb. There's a little filament in there, and he got it to burn continuously. So motion pictures, here's a camera here, one of them, and a phonograph here we'll look at closer in a minute, and all these are going to impact American life. Let's look at the incandescent light bulb first. 1879, Thomas Edison created a light bulb that could run on direct current and also alternating current, where electricity would go in and connect the wire and come through back again in a series, and you can light more than one bulb up, okay, through direct current. So the electric light bulb is going to allow factory workers to work inside of factories. It's going to be lit, so it increases productions within factories at night. That's going to happen. Electricity is going to be used to move conveyor belts, when coupled with another invention, the electric motor we're about to talk about. But the electric power stations that he created are going to help take this electric lights to different places throughout cities, down streets to light up streets as street lights, and in homes. Electricity is going to go into homes eventually. And his first, the world's first electric power station was in Lower Manhattan in New York. J. Pierpont Morgan, a financial investor and one of the entrepreneurs of this time period, lived in Lower Manhattan there, and Wall Street is in that area. And so Thomas Edison built on Pear Street station in Lower Manhattan, New York City, the world's first electric power plant, and it's going to be there from September 4th, 1882 until 1890, when it was burnt down by a fire. But he gave electricity out for sale in a 1 mile square block here in Lower Manhattan. J.P. Morgan's home was one of the places. But the ticker tape that people use to look at their stocks in their homes that would come out, I don't have a picture of it, but he created that as well. But anyway, he creates these power stations, and eventually these power stations are going to send electricity out on these lines down the roads and streets and highways, and out in rural communities even, and take electricity to homes. And eventually we're going to have these lights hanging from these things lighting up the city at night. And you see here a couple of street lights down the block here. And another guy by the name of George Westinghouse is going to improve electricity by using electric transformers, because Thomas Edison's DC system of running lights could only be good or efficient up to a 2 mile radius. But to get beyond that, Westinghouse come up with alternating current system and running through using these transformers that would alternate the current rather than run it straight in a straight direct system. So he's going to go longer distance with them. So he's going to piggyback right off Thomas Edison's invention here and make it more efficient. But because of that, electricity is going to move all throughout the nation, all throughout the United States. From home to home, into cities, and eventually to rural areas. It's going to take a while, but it's going to come out. If you go outside, you'll probably see some of these beside your home, or on the way to school on the school bus, you'll see them. Or if you're riding in your car, don't look too long, don't get in a wreck. But anyway, Thomas Edison gets financial backing from J.P. Morgan and creates a General Electric company. It was called Edison General Electric by 1888, and electric company General Electric is going to create a lot of things still in existence today. And we're going to see a lot of these in-home appliances that are going to be used here. Some street lights were created by General Electric Lighting Company, used within the home and down street and in factories. Lighting was extremely important. And then eventually electric appliances, coupled with Nikola Tesla, another inventor and scientist that creates a motorized engine that runs off alternating current, gives the ability to create in the home electric appliances like this washing machine right here, for instance. See this motor down here was a Tesla type motor, and then this vacuum cleaner, Tesla type motor, and it's going to transform women's work in the home, where they had to sweep the floor, now they can vacuum. They're going to have this. Here's a little lamp that she's lighting up in her home. Where they used to have to put had stoves that were like Benjamin Franklin stoves that just run off coal or wood heat as a source. Electric energy is going to run their stoves and their irons that they iron clothes with and make their lives easier. And here's a washing machine here. Women are going to wash their clothes through the washing machine rather than scrubbing them by hand. So it's going to change from manual labor to electric labor using General Electric appliances and appliances like Hot Point, and I think there were some George Westinghouse appliances as well, General Electric appliances. Even at Christmas time, when they lit the Christmas trees, they used some of Thomas Edison's small decorative lights here. Here's a picture of them here that were boxed up even there. And then the phonograph, he created a machine that would record sound if you spoke into it, and this is going to be created into eventually music playing machines. But the first thing he spoke is Mary Had a Little Lamb nursery rhyme through this thing, and it recorded it on this wheel and then played it back. So the phonograph is the grandfather of music playing devices. You guys have iPod now, of course, but there's a long stretch from the phonograph to here, but you get the idea, okay? In motion pictures, Thomas Edison come out with the motion picture camera, or kinetoscope, and it's going to be able to record images and motion. And some of the first movies are going to be without sound, without people talking. Silent movies. One of the first actors in silent movies, most famous, is Charlie Chaplin, here eating a shoe. And they played music with the phonograph while it was showing in the theaters, but you couldn't hear the actor talk. They would put words up on the screen at certain times. And then eventually by the 1930s, 20s and 30s, late teens, 20s, 30s, movies with sound come about. They called them talkies. One of the pioneers of movies was a woman by the name of Miriam Hopkins, and she was from Bainbridge, Georgia, born right here in Bainbridge, Georgia. And there's an insurance agency right beside CVS. I can't remember the name of it. A little blue building there on the corner at the red light. And she was born in that home, lived right there. She's buried, actually. She died in the 70s. She's buried out in Oak City Cemetery behind stones. but she was a big-time actress that started out doing amateur vaudeville performances and then started acting in silent movies and then worked her way into these talkies. And by the 30s, she was doing professional videos that had sounds, these talkies movies. And she acted in one of the first full-length color films. Here she is in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, 1931, that has been black and white film. But she was put on Time magazine for her portrayal of Becky Sharp here, and it was in 1935 was the first full-length feature film to use Technicolor process, three primary colors through a film register. And she's from Bainbridge, Georgia. And the impact on American life is that these electric appliances are going to exchange human labor within the home and a lot of within the factories with new inventions like washing machines, vacuum cleaners, and conveyor belts. Eventually, with Nikola Tesla's motor, will be used to move items instead of people toting them from place to place. The items will come to the people. We see Henry Ford later on is going to use the assembly line process. But light bulbs are going to bring lights to the streets and into factories and in homes, allowing for vision during and labor during night. And the phonograph is going to be used to entertain Americans through recorded sound, to be able to make diction and to dictate things and to listen to music eventually. And then the motion pictures with movies and acting is going to become a big thing that entertains people. So we see that Thomas Edison had a huge impact on American life, from the way we work, the way we live in our homes, to the way we entertain ourselves. So in that, I think that we have done a good job here meeting our requirement, and that is to describe the inventions of Thomas Edison: electric light bulb, motion pictures, phonograph, and their impact on American life. Ask questions in class, watch this over. Good luck on the quiz, test, EOCT.